Good morning. I'm Gina Terusio.
I'm Alicia.
Hello, Alicia. We are bringing you Latah 411. This is our chance to show off the awesomeness that is Latah County, Idaho. We want to show you the businesses and the people that you can expect to see when you visit. With us today is the lovely Ashley Daly. She is the owner, proprietress, chief bottle washer and cook of the Gypsy Mountain Boutique in Potlatch. Hello, Ashley.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. It's bright and early, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you have caused quite the stir out there. Very often, or new businesses don't come very often, and it's an exciting, fun one in Potlatch. So before we jump in, my favorite question and nobody else's favorite question, just mine. Tell me about you, please. We want to know the person behind Gypsy Mountain.
So, I'm married and I have 2 kids and we are building a house right now. My husband, he works 40 to 48 hours a week and then he builds our house after work and on the weekends with my dad.
Wow.
So,
Good for him.
yeah, we're busy. And then I have another job that I work part-time when I'm not here. And my kids are in school 2 days a week and then homeschool 2 days a week because of Potlatch's school schedule. So we're really busy right now, but we're really happily busy. So it's not always like this. I feel like we do this. Like when we got married in August and we sold his house that summer in like June. So that season we did 2 things at the same time. Really crazy, really busy. Planned a wedding, sold a house. And then probably a year or 2 later, we both quit our jobs and started new jobs in the same month. And then we were building a house and I just thought, oh, I'll just start a business. Why don't we just do that? So here we are.
In the middle of a pandemic.
In the middle of the pandemic while I'm homeschooling and working part-time. So
Right.
why not?
Why not?
So a full plate is normal for you then?
I think we go in waves. So we really enjoy, the lows too, where we're just hanging out, going to work, coming home. And then we must just get stir crazy and we go insane. So,
Well, I for one appreciate you and your propensity to fill your plate super full. But I know that Potlatch does too. So thank you for doing this. So when you started thinking about starting a business, when you had that 3 seconds of open space in your life, plan this. What possessed you to do kind of what you're doing there is that the boutique in the background?
Yeah, it is. So I for a very, very long time, I knew I always wanted to open some kind of boutique. I think since like high school or maybe shortly after, but I never knew quite what, and I just knew someday it'd be really great to own my own store. Never did I feel confident enough to actually make that happen. So that just was kind of always in the back of my mind. I'd love to do that, and I would tell people here and there. It wasn't something I just like shouted from the rooftops, but I would tell people here and there, that is what I'd really like to do. And so I had looked at spaces. I think being with my husband gave me confidence to be secure enough because I was a single mom for a long time. So I was finally secure enough to maybe do that someday. And I never felt right though. The few times that I looked at places and then and one other thing specifically to this store is that I'm a thrift shopper anyways, and so all my clothing always came from thrift stores, and if it didn't, it was severely on sale, and so that is kind of what started the consignment part of this. So yeah.
So do you have a consignment part and then do you have a new part?
So all the clothing is consignment, and then I have lots of local makers who make new goods, lots of various types, and so one thing that I don't know if other stores do this, but I don't like my makers to compete with each other. So if I have one person doing one kind of thing, then I like to have them doing that one thing, and then so it stays kind of small and yeah, but they're all local and it's really fun. And a lot of them were my friends before, and then a lot of them have become my friends because of our relationship through this. So that's been really great.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, that is fun. I too am a lifelong thrift shopper. And that for me is my recycling. You know, when I'm done,
Yeah.
it goes to the consignment store, and I go to the consignment store to buy more of my, it's almost I won't say it's a seasonal thing because that implies way too much fashion. Because if you know me, I have the same pair of black pants, like 7 pairs. So the week just goes so easily. But anyway, so tell us about where you're at in Potlatch, your hours and that kind of thing. And I'll ask you to repeat it again, but I want to have that be a theme in our discussion today.
Yeah, so I'm on Larch Street, and so if you know Potlatch well, we only have one main street. So if you go up that, there's a new vet clinic, and it's been various things throughout the years, but it's pretty obvious now that it's a vet clinic. They have a huge sign. And so then you're gonna take if you're coming like from Moscow, you're gonna take a left right after that, and that's Larch Street. And then my building is a big white building, and it has like a big sign on the side that says boutique. So once you know where it is, it's really easy to find. Yeah, and I'm open Wednesday and Thursday 10 to 6, Friday 10 to 7, and Saturday 9 to 7.
That's
When
awesome.
did you open your doors?
So I wanted to tell you guys this. So I opened November 14th, but I signed my lease September 30th.
Okay.
So within 6 weeks, this building used to be, it's been so many things throughout the years. People will come in and be like, oh, I remember when it was this. It's like, I want to say it's like 100 years old. It's a really, really old building. Upstairs, you can really tell that. That's where I had my inventory, and my kids had their own little section. And downstairs, they must have fixed something up at some point because it's nicer. But we had to do some things to it, and so we did all those things, and then I got all my inventory and priced it all, and was ready to open within like 6 weeks about. So
Very cool. Good job.
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I think though it's interesting that it feels like a kind of a thoughtful way of beginning. You know, you sign your lease, and then you are, and I think a lot of small businesses would say this as well, that you get into a situation and you don't realize how much you have to do kind of before you're ready for retail or ready for people to come in. So I kind of get it. That's a thoughtful way to do it. I don't know if you thought that was the word to be applied to it, but I think it's kind of a smart way to do it. So
yeah, it was I think it was good to get in here as soon as I could, and I really wanted to get in here before Christmas. So this is going to air after this, but this Saturday is Company Town Christmas, and that was like, I knew I needed to be in before then. And so I did like a month before then. So it really worked out.
good. So if I am going to ask, I'm going to ask you a question about, you're going to play the sage business owner now. Make believe you've been in business for 15 years, and you've got a friend of yours that comes up to you and says, hey, I want to open a business. What is your first message to this person?
I think to just go after it, because I lived in a place of not necessarily regret, but just kind of upset with myself because I never did it. And then I saw other people go after their dreams, and I was like, well, why can't I do that? And I lived in that place for a while, and I didn't want to play poor me, and I was like, why am I not doing it? So I should just go do it. And then I did, and here we are, and I'm really happy I did. So I think to just go after it, and you're never going to know what happens until you do it. So
Yeah. That is the hardest part. Just do it.
Yeah.
So when you did this, when you finally found your spot and you were, it felt right and everything, what was the hardest part of it for you? Was it getting a good accountant? Was it, heading to the bank to get a loan? What was it? What was the hardest?
Well, I didn't get a loan, and I'm my own accountant.
Oh, wow.
So I am I'm doing everything on my own, and maybe someday it won't always be like that, but this is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, coming in here, we did everything ourselves. I think the hardest part was how thinly like I was stretching myself and not seeing my family as much. I was here till 10 or 11 almost every night. I was still working my other job, which was like 27-ish hours at the time. And
Yeah.
so I think that was it, which you don't have to do it that way. I just knew I had a goal and I wanted to get this done as soon as possible. And I really didn't realize how much time it would take to price the clothing, because I look up each piece individually and find out what it started with and then price my clothing from that. And I mean, I knew I was going to do that, but I didn't know how much work that would entail. So
Yeah. And that
And
should
that's
get
still-
easier as you go.
I think it has, but it is still like the most time consuming thing
for sure.
is doing that. Yeah.
How do you market? How do you get your word out?
I do a lot of social media marketing, so Instagram and Facebook. And then like for the grand opening, I put an ad in the CIA, which is like a local Potlatch newsletter that goes out to everyone. And then I put up some flyers. And so, but most of it's through social media. And being in a small town, I think like a lot of it is probably word of mouth without even me having to do that.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you're right. When there's one name dragged through town and something new is happening there, you're right. You get that word of mouth. But I think you've hit on something that whether us naturally highlighted hair people want to admit it or not, social media is the way to go. And I do think a strong social media presence. I noticed yours early on, and I appreciate that anticipatory thing you kind of did. You know, that it's coming soon. We're gonna open. You know, that's really. I think it's the wave of the future, and I'm sounding old, but that is definitely, you did a good job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I have good interaction and engagement on my social media platforms, and so hopefully that continues to grow. But it's just a silly thing that I like to do. The first week I was doing like today's look on my story and just like, what am I wearing today? And then I asked my followers like, do you want me to keep doing this? Like it was just something fun for the first week, and they're like, oh, keep doing it. And so it's like it's exciting for me because I was like, okay, I can't wear what I wore last week. I got to put a new outfit together. And so it's just like, I don't know, something fun, something silly and fun that I get to do. But
So tell us the story of what you're wearing, because that sweater is gorgeous.
so I did wear this last week, but that's because everyone was like, oh, that is the cutest sweater. I was like, oh, then I have to wear it for the interview, I guess. It's just I don't know, it's just a super oversized, it's like 2 sizes too big, and that's super in right now, I guess. And it's just a really oversized sweater with some ripped jeans, and it's comfy. I've been enjoying being really comfy lately. So sweater season is nice.
I do like sweater season.
Yeah. I think they're my friends after a while. You know, there are some sweaters that you just know if you put them on, your day's going to be better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and I think this is probably
Oh
one of
goodness. My dad is about to knock on my door. Oh my gosh. One moment.
your dad just knocked on the door, Ashley. And I think it's, you know, granted a nerve-wracking interruption, but it to me is so indicative of what it really is like in a small business. It takes a village. It takes your dad, it takes your uncle, it takes your husband and your kids. And I think it's a good thing. You know, it's that support that we need.
Yeah, definitely. He stopped by to ask a question about the house that we're building, but often I have my husband stop by because I'm not super great at like pounding nails in to make things straight. And so I'm like, I need you to hang something up, or I need you to do this. And if you could just come by and tighten this. And so he's always on his way home, stopping by just to do something real quick. And my kids,
nice.
they help, well, they're here because of homeschooling. So they're here all the time and try to get them to help out. But on like special events, when I had my grand opening, they were passing out hot chocolate and donuts. And so that was really cool. And I think they'll be passing out candy canes this Saturday. But yeah,
it's very cool.
It definitely takes a village, and I have a good one.
Yeah. I think it's a good example too for you know, if you think about that whole, what are we doing for the next generation thing, it's good to expose your kids to that sort of business world, the servant leadership kind of thing that really handing out candy canes on a parade day for the community is that. And I think that's awesome. That gets the right mindset, gives me a little bit of hope for what you guys are going to have when we're done messing around with it.
Right.
For sure. I mean, my parents owned a business and I grew up working it, working their parties and just working in the store. And it was invaluable. I mean, it was the best raising ever.
That's so awesome. My daughter has already told me that she wants to have a business like I do. And now she's gotten to this phase where she wants to be a hairstylist and she wants to join my store. We want to expand. And she's going to have her little hairstyling thing and my store over here. And we're going to be together. And I'm very excited. We'll see what happens. But I think it's just the cutest thing.
That is cute.
So a hair salon, a fashion boutique, winery.
Maybe.
I was thinking I'll start the bookstore coffee shop next door.
Right.
And I will never leave. I'll be there the whole time.
Awesome. Our best customer.
So I want to wrap this up, and even though I'd rather talk to you for like 4 hours, but you got to open it a little bit. What do you tell, let's go back to that question again. What do you tell the next group of people that want to start a business? What's the one thing? Go with your dreams, grab that dream. Talk to me a little bit.
Yeah, that would be it. I would say that is just go for it. I think if I would have done it back when I wanted to, I don't think it would have worked out like this. The place that I found, I got it from the city, or I'm renting it from the city, and they gave me a killer deal and they set me up for success. And so I can't be upset that I didn't go for it then, but I think you still hold on to those dreams and know that you're going to do that someday, even if right now is not the time. Because I feel like if I would have done it then, I don't know what would have happened, but I did it now and everything is happening just like it's supposed to. So hold on to them. And if it just isn't the time, that doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. It just means, you might want to wait a little bit, and then you might be where I'm at. So
I love the concept of pieces falling in place. And I think from your story and from the way that I've watched from the outside, just Potlatch alone, I'm getting to know you now, but there was a certain degree of everything having to fall into place with this arrangement. And Potlatch as a city had to start getting to where they could set you up for success too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe that what you're saying is exactly right. The timing is key.
It is, even in the middle of a pandemic. That might be your time.
It's true.
It definitely was. It definitely was for me. And I do have to give a bit of a shout out to the city, because when they called and they told me what they were going to rent this place to me for, and it wasn't really even on the market to rent. It was a very unique situation. But they told me on my lunch break at my other job, and I cried on the phone, and I was like, I guess it's happening. I guess we're doing this. I can't say no to that. So, so a week later I signed my lease, and then I've been here ever since. So,
oh, very cool.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Oh,
so
so awesome.
Tell us about your, you mentioned Facebook and Instagram. What's your handles?
So both of them are just gypsy.mountain.boutique. So it should be pretty easy to find. I think sometimes new businesses, sometimes it takes a few searches to get there. So, and even I set up like my Google too. So it's like, you should be able to find me if you don't have a sense of direction like me. You might have to Google Maps me, but it should be there now.
That's good.
Once again, this is Ashley Daly, and we are talking about Gypsy Mountain Boutique in Potlatch, Idaho. And I'm heading there this afternoon. And I encourage, if I could take Alicia with me today, I would do it. We would both be there for the whole afternoon. skipping all of our other work, our kids high and dry. But Ashley, you've been just a joy, and thank you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today. Once again, this is Latah 411. These are the gems of our county right here. Ashley's one of them. We've enjoyed being able to bring her forth to you. Alicia and I are happy holidays to everybody too. It's December and kind of cold here in Latah County, but thanks for being with us today. Ashley, thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm excited to see you in person today.
Oh yeah, couple hours.
I better get all my best stuff out.
I do have my checkbook, and I've been paid like 2 days ago. All right, thanks again.
See ya.
Bye.